graph sketching. Graph sketching of a parabola. I know it is a parabola. I need to know whether it is opening up or opening down. I'm going to look at the coefficient of x squared. Coefficient of x squared is, without expanding everything, we don't have to expand everything. Look at it, you know that inside this bracket, we've got a positive x. If I expand the square over here, I will still get a positive x squared. Multiplied by a negative sign, I have a coefficient of -1, which means that it is a parabola opening downwards, so I will be expecting a maximum point. Okay, so for any of your graph sketching, we need to show the intercepts, so x and y intercept, your turning points, as well as the end points if required. In this case, they did not ask about end points. They did not state from -10 to 10, for example. They didn't state that. So we do not need to show the end points. So these 3 points are what we need to show in our diagram. Okay, let's start with the y-intercept. It happens when x is equal to 0. Straight substitution, y will be equal to 0 minus 1, -1, square is 1, 4 minus 1, 3. I know it's going to cut at y equals to 3. Now we want to find the maximum point. Since it is in a completed square form, okay, the right hand side is 4 minus something, right? It is 4 minus something. I want the maximum value of y. That's what's known as the maximum point. I want the maximum value of y. My y is given by 4, take away something. The more you take away, the less you get, isn't it? So if I want the maximum amount of y, it means that I want to take away as little as possible. What is the least that you can take away from y? What is the smallest value over here? 0. Because a perfect square is either 0 or greater than 0. Okay? So this has the smallest value of 0. I am taking away the least. Now, inside the bracket, inside my rectangle, the value is 0. When does this happen? When do I have this as 0? Okay, when x is equal to 1, that means the perfect square is equal to 0. Therefore, x is equal to 1. I've got the x coordinate already. When x is equal to 1, inside the bracket will be 0. Okay, 4 minus 0 is 0. Logical. So here we have the maximum point. You go through this thought process, whether it's for minimum point or maximum point, you will be able to get the maximum, the turning point instantly. Just looking at this, change the sign, -1 becomes 1. Basically, I want this to become 0. 1, 4. Okay, next, the x-intercept. It happens when y is equal to 0. So let y be equal to 0, we get 4 minus x minus 1 squared. Manipulation, x minus 1 square equals to 4. X minus 1 must be equal to plus minus 2, taking square root on both sides. X is going to be equal to, add 1 to both of these values, -1 or 3. Okay, so now we have to indicate on our x and y axis, got -1 over here, try to draw it to scale. If this is -1, this should be 1, this should be 2, and this should be 3. Got intersection points over here. Next, we've got our maximum point, 1. Maximum point lies directly between -1 and 3. That should make sense. It is symmetrical. And the maximum point is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we are left with the y-intercept of 3. So now your job is to join this up. Try and join out with a smooth curve. The turning point should not be a sharp point, and your curve should not be as hairy as mine. Okay, you get to erase and draw again. So here we have our graph. Label it y equals to 4 minus x minus 1 squared. Okay, the next question. This is the completed square form of a quadratic equation. Here we have the factorized form. Okay, we don't have perfect squares here already. But we still need to find the same three pieces of information. Y-intercept, x-intercept, and the turning point. So here, y-intercept as always is one of the easiest. Sub x equals to 0. So 0 minus 1 is negative 1. Negative 1 times 4. It cuts the y-axis at negative 4. X-intercept happens when y is equal to 0, which means x is equal to 1 or negative 4. Okay? Now, because we have coefficient of x squared is positive in value, it is a positive 1. So we are expecting a parabola opening upwards. It has a minimum point. Minimum point has x coordinate right in the middle of our two x-intercepts. So the middle value, the median or the average of 1 and negative 4, x coordinate is equal to negative 4 plus 1 over 2, which gives us negative 3 over 2. Okay? So now we can have the y coordinate. Do your substitution, you will find that it is negative 6 and 1/4. Label all these points on our x and y axis. X-intercept 1, 2, 3, and 4. So negative 4, 1 over here. The minimum point, x value is negative 1.5 over here, negative 3 over 2. I know the minimum point will lie somewhere here, in the middle of my two x-intercepts. Now my y-intercept is negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. My y-coordinate for the minimum point, 5, 6, and a little, negative 6 and 1/4. So this is my minimum point. These are my x-intercepts and my y-intercept here. Join them up. I like to start from the turning point because I know that the gradient there should be 0. So you can rotate your paper. Until it's comfortable for you. The curve should be smooth. It should not have many lines like mine. Okay, so erase and draw until you are satisfied with the shape of your parabola. Then label. Y is x minus 1, x plus 4. The final part, write down the equation of the line of symmetry of this particular graph. X minus 1, x plus 4. So the line of symmetry is this vertical dotted line of x coordinate negative 3 over 2. Answer, x equals to negative 3 over 2. This is a 1-mark question, which means if you leave your answer like this, look at the screen, if you leave your answer like this, you get 0 marks because the equation is not negative 3 over 2. Negative 3 over 2 is a number. The equation of the line is x equals to negative 3 over 2. Then you get your 1 mark. Check your work. Okay, next question that I'm going through. Question 1. Take a look at my work. Express 3 over 5 as a percentage. This is my work. 3 over 5 times 100 equals to 8 and 4 over 7%. Is this right or wrong? Is the final answer correct? Yes, the final answer is correct. But is the working correct? It is incorrect. What is wrong with it? Yeah, you have to write 100% because if you don't write 100%, effectively what we have is 3 over 35 times 100. We get 8 and 4 over 7, which is 60 over 7 here. Okay? The left hand side, is 60 over 7, which is 8 and 4 over 7. The right hand side is 8 and 4 over 7%. Left hand side is not equal to right hand side. They are different by 100 times. Can you see that? They're different by 100 times. So this, although the final answer is correct, it is still incorrect because the working is wrong. Do you understand? Alright, next part, 7a. Factorize 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. Factorize. And this is my work. Is this correct? No, it is not correct. Do you know how I arrived at this? Chicken, do you know how I arrived at this? How did I do it? Oh yeah, mode 3, 3. What is this mode 3, 3? Mode 3, 3. I key in 2. I key in -5. I key in -3. Because it's quadratic, isn't it? Yeah, I see a quadratic. I enter. My calculator tells me x is equals to 3. So I happily write down bracket x minus 3. My calculator tells me x is -12. I happily write down x plus half. So this is my factorized form. Is this correct? Where's the error? Should be, Kevin is suggesting that this should be 2x plus 1. Okay, why does that make it correct? Let's take a look at why it is wrong in the first place. Right hand side, if you expand it out, you get x squared. Wrong already. Oh. The very first thing you write x squared is wrong already, isn't it? On the left hand side, do you have x squared or is it 2x squared? It is 2x squared. On the right hand side, the first expansion, x squared, wrong already. Okay? If you expand everything out, you will find more mistakes. So in order to make this correct, you are supposed to use your frame over here. 2x squared, -3. So let's put a 3 and a 1 over here. 6x and x. In order to get -5x, put a negative sign, we will now have this equal to 2x plus 1, x minus 3. Okay, this is the correct way to do it. If you are so dependent on your calculator, you have to at least recognize that this is wrong. To make it correct, you need to multiply by 2, you need to multiply by 2. I leave it to you to figure out why you have to do that if you really want to use your calculator. Okay, don't use it blindly. Yeah? Next, question 11. 3 dice thrown at the same time. Probability, 3 numbers, total 18. Okay, so probability total equals to 18. I like to write down my probability in words because it helps me clarify my thinking. If I want the total to be 18, what am I restricted by? What must be shown on the first dice? On the first die? 6. Do I have a choice? Don't have. By the way, dice, they have 6 sides. They have 6 faces. So the first die must show 6. What about the second die? Must it also be a 6? Yes. Is it an or an or? Is it 6 and 6 or 6 or 6? It's n, isn't it? So write it down, n. Second die, 6. What about the third die? N, 6. So by writing it down this way, I am able to recognize I need the first die to be 6 multiplied, okay, the probability of first die being 6 multiplied, because the word n is over there, multiplied by probability second die is 6, and so on and so forth. So for the first probability, we have 1 over 6. What do you think the second probability is? Also 1 over 6. Likewise for the third one, isn't it? So to simplify things, I cube it. So I have 1 over 216. This is a very low probability that you throw 3 dice, and you get all 3 6. Very low, 1 in 216. What this means is that if you were to throw the dice randomly for 216 times, we are expecting one time the results will be 6, 6, and 6. That's what we expect. but in reality it may not be. Okay, now part B, the 3 dice show the same number. So probability, all same. So I talk to myself again. Okay, all same means that, looking at the first case, part A, does it satisfy all 3 same number? Yes. So it will be 6 and 6 and 6. Right? That is one case, which I know this probability is 1 over 216. Is this the only possibility? No. What else could it be? 555. Now question is it a 666 and 555? Or should it be 666 or 555? Or. It is an or. English is important. So it is an or over here. 5 and 5 and 5. Are these the only 2 cases? There are more, right? So we can continue. So on and so forth. And you get the idea. Now, probability of 666 is 1 over 216. We found that out already in part A. Now there's a word or over here, so we need to add. What is the probability of 555? It's again going to be 1 over 216. Okay? So 1 over 216. How many times are we going to add over here? It could be 566, 555, 444, so on and so forth. We have a total of 6 possibilities. So in summary, we're going to multiply this by 6, resulting in 1 over 36. So chances of this happening is much higher. Out of 36 throws, we are expecting 1 of it to show 3 dice, same number. Okay? Finally, the last one, total of these numbers shown is 17. When does this happen? Probability total equals 17. Okay, first case. What can you think of as the first case? 665, 6, 6, okay. 6 and 5. This is one case. Or 6 and 5 and 6. This is the second case. There is one more case. Or 5 and 6 and 6. Okay, so if you are able to find this probability, then you multiply by 3. So what is the probability of 6 and 5? The first die showing 6 has to be 1 6. The second die showing 6 again is 1 over 6. The third die showing a 5 is 1 over 6 again. This is for the first case. Then we have to add 1 over 6, 1 over 6, 1 over 6. Some of you might have realized it that right from the start we could multiply by 3. But if you haven't realized that, go ahead and multiply them and add them. So our final answer here will be 1 over 72. Matrices. Does anybody need me to go through matrix multiplication? Multiplication. It is just computational only. Okay? So I am interested in what your answer to A represents. Yes?
So just to confirm, matrix multiplication is you write 2 times 3, then the next one must be 3 times something, right?
Okay, so you're talking about the order of the matrix.
Like the final
Yes. Okay, so here we have matrix multiplication. This is a 2 by 3, 2 rows by 3 column. Here we have a 3 row by 1 column. When we multiply these, we will get 2 by 1. It will be a 2 by 1 matrix. 2 rows, 1 column. Yes? 2 rows, 1 column. And the result over here is 23, 24. Now what does this represent? You have to copy down the headers. Okay, for here we have City and United. On top we have won, drawn, lost. For the other matrix, again, won, lost, draw. Won, drawn, and lost. And we have points. Similar to the order, we remove the 3 in the middle. Whatever is common, we remove it. So we don't have these anymore. We are left with the headers, City, United, and points. So here we have it. The final matrix, the result of the matrix multiplication, has the header of City, United, which means the team names and the total points. So your answer, it represents the total points for City and United respectively. Okay, this is a keyword. Yes? Do we need to state the value? No, if you write down the word respectively, then it is clear already. The first will be for City, the next will be for United. But if you want to be absolutely certain, write down the value. No, go ahead. Okay? Yes? I can't hear you. Working stage, why? We need to write down the names. No need to write down a name. You don't have to write down City, United, drawn, war, all these headers over here. You don't have to, but it helps you to see what the elements represent. Okay, next question I'm going through, 17. Okay, a journey from home to school. How long did she wait at the bus stop? So we are looking for a time when distance did not change. Because when you're waiting, you are stationary. So we are looking for the interval over here. Okay, that's quite alright. Next, how far was she from school at 8:15? At 8:15. This is our line for 8:15. Look closely at the intersection. Does it intersect at a horizontal line or does it intersect between two horizontal lines? Between. Your eyesight has to be good. So it intersects between, which means that I have to take the middle value of these two distances. Please check the scale properly. Okay, 5 squares refers to 1 unit. So this is 2.2, 2.4, 2.6, 2.8, 2.9. Don't give me 2.8, don't give me 3. It is exactly in the middle. 2.9. Okay, but they want the distance from the school. So 5.4 minus 2.9. Get the answer. Watch out for these little tricks over here. This is in kilometers per hour, but the horizontal axis, the time axis is in minutes. Okay, you see it in minutes. Similarly for part D. Okay, next question I'm going through is 18. Stem and leaf diagram. Part C. Explain whether the boys or girls perform better in the test. How many of you have a different answer, have a different explanation from the suggested answer? The suggested answer used mean. Why would you want to use the mean?
I wrote average.
Average? That's even worse. What average are you talking about?
Like,
We don't use average, we use mean, median, mode.
I know I use mode.
Why would you want to use mode?
No, mean, I use mean. Mean the average, yes.
So you mean you calculated everything out, all the average over here,
Yeah.
calculated?
Yeah.
Okay, so watch. This is a 1 mark question. We are not expecting you to do a lot of computation. Use whatever was calculated earlier on. Earlier on, we have the mode. We also have median, but one for boy, one for girls. Which is a better indication of performance? Median. That is always our first choice. We go with the median. In addition, we already have the median for the girls. So it makes sense for us to now calculate the median value for the boys. There are 20 boys. Median position is 20 plus 1 over 2, which is 10.5. We are going to find the 10.5 position. Starting from the lowest, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is the 10th position. This is the 11th position. So I am interested in this value. The star value between 61 and 65 is 63. So the median for boys is 63 marks. So this is what we are going to be using for explanation on who performed better. So in this case, the girls perform better because they have a higher median of 69 marks compared to the boys' median of 63 marks. So you need to know which you are supposed to be using, whether it is standard deviation, interquartile range, mean, median, mode, and etc. Okay, performance is always median as the first choice. Otherwise, go with the mean. If you are talking about consistency, go with standard deviation or the interquartile range, where standard deviation is our first choice.
So, can you go what's the actual
Meaning
meaning of standard deviation?
of standard deviation.
Yeah, like when you talk about standard deviation, what does it mean?
Okay, remind me after I finish going through this paper. Question 22 next. 22, part B, part 3. Explain why the sum is a multiple of 3. Here we have the sum, 6n plus 3. To show that it is a multiple of 3, we do not divide by 3. We show that 3 is a factor. Okay, one more time. To show that this is a multiple of 3, I do not divide this by 3. Instead, I factorize 3 out. So 6n plus 3 is 3 times of 2n plus 1. So here, I have rewritten the total, the sum, as 3 times something. Hence, the sum is a multiple of 3. This is how we explain. This is how we answer this type of question. Okay, now question 23, second last question I'm going through. We've got a parallelogram. So parallel sides. We've got many triangles. Show that ALB, NLD, ALB, and NLD to show that these two triangles are similar, actually we should have recognized them already because they are of this shape. So we've already mentioned before, okay, vertically opposite angles. There's one pair of common angles that are the same already. Next, because these are parallel lines, we've got a letter Z over here that we can spot. Okay, one angle here, one angle here. There's two angles already. In fact, you could have used the third angle also. Over here. Alternate angles, parallel lines. So definitely can prove that these two triangles are similar. Besides that, I can spot another two similar triangles over here. They are this small triangle and this bigger triangle on top. Okay? Same thing, vertically opposite as well as parallel lines. So my focus is actually on part D, part 1. DL, 3 times of LB. Use one color, DL, LB, 3 to 1, yes. Huh? AA, yes, you can put AA similarity test. But recommendation, AAA similarity test. Okay? Because we say that we just show two angles is sufficient because the third angle must be the same. But the name of the test is the angle similarity test. So put on AAA test, but you only need to show two angles being the same. But if you are kiasu, put on 3. Yes, Jiao? Okay. So here we have the ratio 3:1 in blue. We want to find AB over CN. AB and CN over here. Let me use red. Want to find this? Do this. So because in part A, we have already shown that ALB and NLB are similar triangles, which means the ratio of the corresponding sides should also be 1:3. So if AB is 1, AB being the length of the smaller triangle, if AB is 1, then the corresponding length on the bigger triangle should be 3. Okay, so far? 1:3. But I want the ratio of AB to CN, not AB to DN. Then how? If this is 1, this being a parallelogram, this should also be 1. Same opposite sides, they have the same length. So if this is 1, this has to be 2. So the ratio of AB to CN is 1/2. Okay, next, area of ABL over ADL. ABL. ABL and ADL. These two triangles, are they similar? ABL, ADL. Looking at it visually, do they look similar? Do they look like they have the same angles? No, they don't. They are not similar triangles. However, they share the same perpendicular height. Okay, ABL. If LB is the base, then A to this point, let's call it X, is the perpendicular height. For the other triangle, ADL. If DL is the base, then extend DL, point X to A is the vertical height. So these two triangles, they share the same vertical height. For this type of triangles, ratio of area is simply the ratio of the bases, because half times base times AX over half times base times AX is the same as the ratio of the bases. So 1:3. So the answer we have 1/3. The final question, MLB, ALD. MLB, ALD. So we mentioned that these two triangles are similar at the start. Alright, we were looking for similar triangles, so as long as you see the shape with parallel lines, confirm similar triangles already. Opposite angles as well as alternate angles. So LB has the corresponding side of LD. Since the ratio of the sides are 1:3, then the ratio of area for similar triangles must be the square of the ratio of sides. So the answer is 1/3 squared, you get 1/9.